We are back, people. What is up? The 2025 NFL Draft is finally upon us. What? How are all y'all doing? I mean, I'm very excited. Lots of news going on today, not even just involving the Dolphins, just a lot of different teams. Looks like the Browns, it's a lot of reports like the Browns might be trying to trade back from 2. Some teams trying to get up to get Travis Hunter. Even Rappaport reported Dolphins are among one of the teams discussing moving back, which obviously I think makes a lot of sense, especially when you see some of the reports about players they'd want. Because I don't know if you guys seen some of the reports about the Dolphins today, but there's been, I feel like over the last 2 days, there's been a lot of players connected to the Dolphins, people who do their mock drafts and typically are pretty accurate. Like yesterday, Peter Schrager put out his mock draft. Schrager, who has typically the most accurate guy, he even had the Dolphins taking Chalk last year. He had the Dolphins taking Mason Graham, which I think would be awesome, amazing. A lot of other good ones also have us taking Jahmyr Barron. People are pretty accurate. I think Daniel Jeremiah was also pretty good, had us trading back and getting Malachi Starks. I don't know if that will happen, but a trade back would be nice. I just don't think we're going to get as much as, potentially expected. But today, this is where I'm a little bit nervous and a little bit scared is Steve Weich from NFL Network. He said his lock of the night was the Dolphins taking Gray Zabel at 13. And there's some people, kind of backing that up. I like Gray Zabel as a player. I really hope that's not the case. That to me is just a reach. It just feels like this draft's about to be absolutely insane. What's up, guys? What's up, Greg, Theo, David, Teddy, T-Matt? How y'all doing? But yeah, the Zabel things, if you take him at 13, that's just a big reach. I could live with Zabel in a trade back into the 20s, but at 13, I just feel like there's a lot of better options to go with. So that would be a little disappointing to me, which kind of sucks because I do like Zabel as a player. I've been a fan of him, and I think he's a good scheme fit. It's just I think there's going to be 10 better options, at least 10 better options. I even have a little stack put here. I didn't even have Zabel on the list, but I had Zabel at the end just to, throw his name in there because he's a possibility. And then I'll pull up some other stuff. So, yeah, let me see what else we got going on. Some random things. Apparently, there's some people saying someone who's underrated is Jonas Sanker. I'm a big fan of Jonas Sanker. Apparently, the Dolphins were connected with him, but that's more of a day 2, day 3 type situation thing. So number 13, I really feel like it's up in the air. I feel like it could go in so many different directions. We need Armand Membou to fall to 13. That would surprise me. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he goes around the 6, 7, 9 range. But that would be nice because Membou's at the top of my list. I'll show that in a little bit. I feel like we trade with Green Bay or LA Chargers or Denver. What are the odds in your opinion? I would love it, but the reason I don't think the odds are that high is just the Dolphins have such a low probability of trading over the years. Greer rarely trades back. He I don't know if he's ever traded back in the first round, not that I recall. And this draft is a draft where you're not going to get as much value. So unless you think you're going to be at 13, you're going to take someone that's going to be there later. That's the way I see them trading back, or some team is desperate, which feels less likely. But I could see those teams. I agree. I think Denver, Chargers could really happen. Yeah. Feels like reaches are going to happen tonight, Teddy. Not even just the Dolphins. It's going to be a wild one throughout. It's going to be a lot of different teams. And really hope it's not Zabel at 13, which sucks to say because I do like the player. But yeah, Jeremiah had us trading back to 20 because the Broncos might want to trade up because we're in front of the Colts, and the Colts are definitely looking. The Colts are a team looking for a tight end, and then the Broncos trade up to take a tight end ahead of them. So that could be something, a different situation. Another thing, Dolphins had a bunch. These are the 30 visits that are confirmed, Keontae Hamilton, Shamar Turner, Alfred Collins. I feel like the only one that could be a first rounder is Nick Emanwari, but even then, I hope he's not. He's another player I don't want tonight. Personally, I mean, I could actually let me pull this up. So, this is kind of my draft stack right here, and this is just this doesn't have every player on it. I didn't put on the players that are obviously going to be gone. The first few are guys who are probably going to be gone, but I just wanted to throw them there just in case. And then the next group, they're kind of broken down into tiers, you'll see. So this is my draft stack. I think Armand Membou is probably my favorite option. That's at least, not impossible. I do think these top three, Membou, Tyler Warren, Mason Graham, won't be there. I put Warren on here just because I love Warren. I don't think Miami, even if Warren's on the board, would take him. They actually might use him as trade bait if he's there at 13. Graham is someone I would be super interested in. It seems like from the mocks, some people have him falling. I think this one's the possibility surprise at 13. Then the next group is Jahmyr Gibbs and Kenneth Grant. I had Will Johnson higher, but with the injury stuff, I really have no idea where Johnson's going to go, which sucks. So you could take Johnson off this list. Johnson and Derek Harmon were two guys who were tagged with injuries who might fall. So these are two guys who could go off the list here with those injuries. But I since I don't have access to that information, I just, dropped them a little bit. But they could be replaced with other players. But Jahmyr Gibbs and Kenneth Grant are probably my favorite two options out of realistic guys who will be there. I put Jalen Walker down here too. He's probably going to be gone, so it doesn't even matter. But I would probably take Walker still after those guys. Then Starks and Revel. I know Revel has the injury, but he doesn't have the injury history, and I think he's a top 10 player in this class. I think he's a surprise guy who could go early. And then I put Kelvin Banks Jr. and Gary Zabel because they've been kind of rumored to Miami over the past couple of days. It seems like Banks is going to go to the Raiders at 6, so his stock has really rise. People had him low, and then Zabel's been the hot name today. And there's even people that I don't have on this list that I would probably still take over them. I just wanted to put some realistic options on there. If Barron and Johnson are gone, there will be someone that's blue chip available, but trading back might be an attractive option. Yeah. Well, I don't think you'll have blue chip. There's really not I think for me, there's some people that throw blue chip around. I only think there's really 2 or 3 blue chip players in this class. And to me, that's Hunter, Carter, and Genty. Outside of that, I don't think there's any blue chips. There's some very good players. I think Mason Graham, Barron, Grant, Johnson, if he's actually healthy. I don't know what's up with his knee. He's a very good player, but I don't know about any of theirs blue chips. I don't want Tyler. Yeah. I don't think the Dolphins are going to take Tyler at 13. I would take him very easily. I would take him. It would be a very easy choice for me, but I don't think they'll take him. I just put his name down there because I'm a big Tyler Warren fan. And it seems like the Dolphins are going to go rogue and do something just kind of dumb anyways. So I'd rather just take the better player. But we'll see how it plays out. Other things that we've seen. No. But yeah, it seems like some people even say Will Johnson might fall out of the first round. Who knows how much that is true to it, but I mean, I've seen crazier happen with people being tagged with injuries. Yeah, there's some mocks out there, I believe. Yeah, Benjamin Albright had us taking Jahmyr Gibbs, and he usually is pretty tapped in and has pretty accurate mocks. A few of them, the guys that are accurate, had us with Jahmyr, and that was yesterday, before the Gray Zabel stuff today. I don't know. You think Ashton Genty is going to the Jags? I've heard that, well, I don't know how true it is, but it seems like I think the Bears could possibly trade up for him around that pick 5 range. So look out, because they've been kind of saying that could happen. That would be definitely interesting. I think the Bears really, really like Genty. But yeah, it feels like to me the most plausible just based on, what the Dolphins, have done in the past, what the Dolphins need, value based on what I, value these players, Barron, Grant, even Mason Graham if he falls, and then some of the offensive linemen. Personally, for me, the offensive linemen that I would take, I think will all be gone. So I don't really want to reach for one of the O linemen that I think is like a Gray Zabel or even Banks if he's there, but I think Banks will be gone too. To me, those are reaches, and that's just not the greatest way to team build. Dolphins have done this before. They did it with Austin Jackson when they were desperately needed a tackle, and they took Austin Jackson when there were just better options on the board. And the Dolphins aren't just one fix away anyways. So to me, I'm just taking best player available and not forcing it at any one which position. Yeah, exactly, David. I feel we go best D-line available. Yeah, Walter Nolan's another name too. That one's tough to predict because I've seen some people say he might go top 10, and then he also, or some people be he might even go first round because of the off-field stuff. So Nolan's another name that I have no idea where he's going to go. I would prefer Grant because I think Grant is going to be a very good player. But Graham, if Graham's there, I'm throwing it at Mason Graham, Michigan. Because also, I think an underrated part of picking Mason Graham is think about one. I think he's a very similar player to actually Christian Wilkins. He was one of the most productive players in the country, but when you lost Wilkins, you had to replace him with a bunch of players, not just Campbell, because Calais played well, but he didn't play as many snaps. Christian Wilkins led D tackles in snaps when he was in Miami, and Zach Siller was like 4. Graham could actually play like that many snaps, that type of player, which is like a huge value. And you probably wouldn't have had to put as much focus on D-line depth if you had a Mason Graham. But if you had Kenneth Grant, you would probably need to have a little more depth in rotational players because he wouldn't be able to play as many snaps. But I think Graham and Sealer would play like a lot of snaps. Yeah, I don't think so anymore, Finn's fan, with Will Johnson. I know he likes Michigan, but it seems like all the sources are saying Will Johnson's really falling because of the injury. Maybe the Dolphins are comfortable with it. I don't know, but just seems like people are definitely questioning if even Will Johnson goes in the first round now, which is kind of crazy. So I'm definitely excited for this to happen. Seems like Cam Ward's going to go 1. Looks like Hunter's going to go 2, but it could be not the Browns taking him. Looks like there's some other potential, suitors out there. And then Carter at 3. And then we'll see. Yeah, Rappaport's talking about it right now. I'm on NFL Network watching it. Yeah. Apparently, like, the Jags are looking to trade up. Nothing's set in stone, though, so we'll see how it plays out. Yeah. I mean, the corner, if there was corner at 13, the only one I'm probably taking now with that is probably Barron. But I'm a huge Barron fan. I love Jade. Ooh. Oh yeah, Dolphins. I don't know if you saw the guys with the new numbers. Malik Washington wearing 6, which is interesting. Zach Wilson wearing 0. Definitely interesting. Oh yeah, I also have let me pull this up. I have here's my, my 2025 NFL draft crush list. These are my guys in this class. There were some names I probably could have added as well. It was, tough getting down to it, but these are guys that I just really like. They're my kind of players, and a lot of them are also good scheme fits for Miami. But these are just my guys. Want to put that out. Tyler Warren, obviously, Jody Barron, Emeka Ibuka, Jack Besh. I love Jack Besh. Gunnar Helm, Jackson Slater, Marcus Bowe, Xavier Watts, Andrew Makuba, Mason Taylor, Kenneth Grant, Jalen Smith, Justin Wally. 2 of my favorite underrated corners in this class, Jalen Smith and Justin Wally. 2 guys to watch out later on, like early day 3. Remember those names? Carson Schwetzinger, my favorite linebacker to watch in this class. Cade Madrano, his teammate, another guy that's very fun. Aeneas Peebles, JJ Pegues, kind of undersized D linemen that are kind of flashy, different types of players, but very fun as well. Parrish is one of my favorite day 2 corners. CJ West is a baller. Bryce Cable is like a great scheme fit for Miami. Super like late round guy. Lampkin, another super late round guy. I know he's the smallest and would be a super outlier, but his film is just so fun to watch. And then Jonas Sanker, who probably one of my favorite safeties watched in this class. I think he's going to be like just a solid safety in the league for a very long time. Boom. Da-da-da-da. Can you go over Bo analysis again? Yeah, I think Bo. Let me pull up my notes on him. But yeah, I could see why teams see him as center. That is probably the trickiest part of his evaluation is where do you play him? But I actually think he's just super like uber athletic. I love the athleticism. Like some of the plays I've seen him make out in space are so impressive. And I also just think he's like one of the most advanced, nuanced guys in the class. Like he clearly has a plan of attack. Like watching him mix up his sets, like he's an artist out there at tackle. That's why I do think he could play tackle, even though he has like the lack of length. I kind of see like a Zach Tom with Green Bay. Okay. But what is this? What are we doing here? Please don't spam. But okay. But yeah, love how he mixes up his sets, his hand usage. Love the athleticism. Yes, he lacks some length, but like he makes some of the most impressive plays in the class to me. I could see why, like, there's question marks of where like he could be a tackle because of the lack of length, and then question marks at guard. Does he have like the weight to hold up back guard, play strength to hold back guard? And that's why some teams might see him more as a center. But either way, like I think he's going to be a good O lineman at the next level. No Donovan Jackson. Jackson would be in that. I did like at the end of my list. Or if you're talking about like my crash guys, no Donovan Jackson. He's someone I considered though. Oh, Ty Robinson. I did consider Ty Robinson for the list as well, but only so many names to go around, and I don't have. I like Ty, but I do have questions with his game. How do you not have Josh Simmons as a blue chip prospect? He's coming off a major knee injury, so that's obviously like the first and foremost. I do think Simmons' film is the best film in this class. I still don't think he's a blue chip. Like I think if he's healthy, he's still a really good player. But I think people misunderstand what blue chip means. Blue chip is like there's only like a handful of blue chips in each class, anyways. Like blue chip is like top tier, and I don't think he's quite that. Like he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. But I've also heard there's also, I don't know how true it is, but people have questioned his character. So that's something that always gives me a pause because, like, I don't know these people. We don't have, the beat on these guys. So if he has potential character concerns and he's coming off a major knee injury, that's a reason for me not to, love him as a prospect. See how it plays out, man. Seems like some people are thinking we're taking Gray Zabel at 13. So if we take Gray Zabel, I'm hoping it's a trade back because 13 is just gonna be like. Ooh, dropping some frames. Yeah, I mean, I've seen people say they're not super concerned with the knee recently, and like he's on like ahead of schedule, so that's like a good thing for him. But still, he still tore his patella. Like that's there, whether we know it or not. And the character concerns, like it was reported by McGinn. McGinn does have a history of like kind of harping on these kids sometimes too harsh. Like he's pretty old school, so it could be overdone with the character concerns, but just. There's too many question marks there for me to like love him. But I do think he's a good player. Plus, also with Simmons, I think a lot of these other tackles can play guard. I don't really see that with Simmons. I think Simmons is a pure left tackle, and like if the Dolphins are going to take an alignment, I think they're going to take one that is a tackle that can play guard, or just a pure guard, and not just a pure tackle. If one of these guys fails, who would you pick? Graham, Membou, Campbell, or Genty? Probably Membou. But that's tough. Yeah. Oh, I would. Yeah. I mean, Graham because Graham, out of those names you said, Graham feels like the only one that's actually realistic. I would take very easily because Graham is a safe pick. You are getting a very good player, not quite blue chip. I don't think Graham's a blue chip player either. But I think you're getting a real good player that is falling for a couple of reasons that are kind of BS, but there are some legitimate concerns. Like I think he's going to just be good, productive, can play a lot of snaps, and is good versus the run and the pass. So you wouldn't see any complaints from me. You'd actually see me very happy. Ooh, but I am excited. We are 24 minutes out. Thank God. I wait. Hopefully the Dolphins don't disappoint. At least though this year, hey, if they disappoint, we still got at least 9 more picks to go, potentially. Maybe even more if they get more picks. Versatility. Yeah, I love versatility. I'm a big versatility guy. Oh yeah, make sure to leave a like on the stream. Apparently, that's good for the algorithm. I always forget to tell people that, so leave a like. I gotta remember to say that stuff. And then yeah, the film breakdowns, they will be coming out like as quick as possible. If you guys want early access, join as a member. You'll get like super early access to a lot of because those will go out really quick for everyone to see. Like I'm just gonna, as soon as the Dolphins make a pick, I'm gonna start getting clips on people, make these videos, film breakdowns. I'm gonna go really in depth too. I think I'm gonna make them longer than usual if I get enough clips. And then I'll, for whoever we pick tonight, that video will be out tomorrow for everyone to see. Hell yeah, troll. Yeah, the NFL draft should be a national holiday. Okay, hopefully we're good there. Oh yeah, they traded like day 3 picks. Let me check Twitter. I'm gonna go off. Oh yeah, no spoilers, guys. Okay, I will not. I mean, please don't spoil in the chat. I'm definitely gonna block my chat when the Dolphins are about to pick. I'm not looking. And then, I will definitely not be on Twitter by the time the draft starts. It's always funny seeing Pete Carroll's like tweets out hints of who they're gonna draft. No hate on versatility here, Scotty. Liam Eichenberg isn't versatile. He's versatile bad. When I say versatile, I mean good versatile. He doesn't count. Not in my house. Yeah. Honestly, since I'm seeing the Zabel stuff, I'm like, please trade down, please trade down. Because I'm not taking Zabel at 13, man. I do also have some bets tonight. Hopefully some bets can hit. So Ross Fireker after the draft, that's the best move the Dolphins would make in the offseason. Nice hat collection. Oh yeah, these are... I have a few more, but those are the ones I just had out. Throw something in the back. I don't know. The way the people are talking about it, Scotty, it seems like there's gonna be a lot of trades tonight, but we'll see if anyone actually pulls the trigger. I bet a lot of people are talking, and a lot of people are probably more willing to trade up because of how cheap it is, even though like it might not be worth it to trade up because the talent might not be there. But if it's a cheap trade up and it's a guy you really like, teams might be willing to trade up more often. But then do teams really want to trade down if they're not getting great value? That's always the versatile bet. Yeah, Liam doesn't count because when I'm talking about versatility, you got to be good at your main spot and at least somewhat good at the other spot. Liam's not good at either spot. Oh. But enough about Liam. I guess that would be the one positive of the Gray Zabel pick is Gray Zabel would just take over for Liam in every aspect. But that would be like that would probably be coping. Because I do like Gray Zabel. It's just at 13, I just can't justify reaching for players, I need to pull some stuff up. I got some grade systems. I got some stuff I want to pull up. Whoever the Dolphins draft, I have like my my info sheets to pull up on like positions of what we should look for. Oh, Liam. You know, I don't even blame Liam. I blame the front office. Honestly, it would, dude. The fact that we traded up for Liam too, because that draft was going pretty good. Like Waddle, Phillips, and Holland are 3 really good picks. Like in terms of just like getting good players, you know. Like I mean, obviously Phillips had the injuries, and you know Holland's gone now, but like Holland was pretty good for you as a second round guy. Obviously Waddle's been damn good. Maybe you could have made a better pick, but Waddle's still a damn good player. Phillips, if he wasn't injured, would have been a very good pick. But then you go around after taking 3 pretty good players and taking Liam is crazy. Yeah, I've seen the Connerly stuff too. I wonder if Connerly, honestly, I'm trying to think if I would prefer Connerly or Zabel. I just don't know if Connerly can play guard. I've seen some people saying he could play guard. I just see Connerly also would give me Austin Jackson vibes, kind of similar to that. I think he's a better player. Jackson was more raw than these guys for sure. I don't know. I'm hoping it's a smokescreen at this point. I'm hoping the like, you know, I want O-line, but I not the O-lineman they're trying to give us at their team. Talking about Gray Zabel right now. Open the and yeah, but didn't our assistant O-line coach Zabel at the Senior Bowl? There was like, I remember there being like pictures after the fact of them like being after practice with Zabel. Shit, did I just disconnect? Am I back? Am I back? I think we're good now. Well, yeah, hopefully, I don't know. It might crash again. It looks like it's fine for a second. Let's see if it actually sticks. It's just been going up and down, up and down. Yeah, it's literally going back to perfect, and then it literally just goes to 0. Like, completely dead. Yeah, they're trying to take me down. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, give me your thoughts and who are you guys predicting? If you had to pick one prediction for tonight, who's it gonna be? For Miami. Now who you want, who you're predicting. Dawson Walter Nolan, one of the more talented players in the class, but apparently there's like serious character concerns that, I mean, it's impossible to know or not if it's, how serious it is. So like his explosiveness and powerful, like his play strength are so impressive. He's also just a little inconsistent too, so it is tough to predict when you don't have the inside info, you know. Baron, Kenneth Graham, you're combining Mason and Grant. You're good. Pins up. Well, that's loud in my not in my ears. Okay, hopefully we're good. God damn. It though things the right color. Okay. I don't even know what that looked like because it looked like it literally went completely disconnected. At least the draft hasn't actually started yet, so it doesn't really matter. But I am excited for this actual draft to happen as long as I can see the picks and make my film breakdowns. That's all that really matters, you know? Close. Nice. Chance of getting Ravel? I don't think it's impossible, but I still don't think they're going to go for that. I think they're going to go for someone that, just based on what Greer was saying, I think it's a little risky to pick the injury guy coming off the major injury. I think they'll like him a lot, though. Your wizard teleporting all over my screen. Perfect. Great. Of course, it's the worst that happens is on draft day. So hopefully it figures itself out before. Because it's so weird. Usually I have like a little bit of lag, but this one's going from like it looking perfect to completely dropping like so. Which makes no sense. Trade down and then trade down again and then trade one more down. You know, I love a good trade down. I don't think Greer does though. We're 7 minutes out, guys. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna go away from that. Away from that. Nope, nope, nope. I need that. Need that. I'm closing Twitter. I'm not going on Twitter. If something happens, let me know, guys. If there's like a big trade, sure, I'll figure it out. Ben Morrison at 48. Yeah, I could get down with that. But apparently, Morrison's another guy. It's just a lot of these corners, especially, have these major injuries, and he has like the hip, and I believe there's a shoulder. Is he the shoulder? But I know he has like a hip injury, and hip injury at corner definitely scares me because that position's all about. It's all about fluidity. You don't think Greer likes trade downs? He loves them. When is Greer like traded down though? I feel like he's very rarely ever traded down throughout his like tenure. Other than like the big one to trade down for to get the Trey Lance trade, I don't remember other like any big trades. And even with that one, he traded back up. Browns are moving out of 2. Is it confirmed? Are you lying to me? Yeah, Notre Dame guys. Down for some Notre Dame DBs. Yeah. I don't think, like, I think a lot of people think we're going to get like a second round pick if we were to trade back. I only think they would get a second if like they returned, like, even in, I think in Daniel Jeremiah's scenario, we traded down to 20, we got a second, but we gave up a fourth. I think that makes sense, but I don't think you're getting a second trade up, not in this draft. Looks like things are gonna get crazy. Huh. Nothing official yet. Let's get this thing going. Hey, no lying in the chat. Come on, please. Yeah, I'd be fine if they traded in front of us for a left tackle, because the left tackles that would most likely be there would not be the ones I wanted. What the heck? Dude, what is happening? Yeah, I've seen the Ramsey being a part of a bunch of different trade packages. I just don't know if that's going to happen. If it did, I don't think it'll happen tonight, but I guess it could. Got this matrix pulled up. Yeah, damn. But it's almost 8. Hopefully they actually start it at 8. I feel like they never actually start the clock at 8. And always is a little bit delayed. Yeah, but there's no like any official trades yet. Nothing. I mean, there's a lot of talk. We'll see if it actually happens after. I mean, first one's already absolute. It's already an absolute. I don't remember the picks I had. Okay. I still think if I had to, I don't know. I honestly, I think it's either a Michigan D tackle tonight or Johnny Bear. I'm still sticking with that. I feel like the stuff that's come out recently is still. I'm hoping it's smoke, but maybe it's not. Maybe the Zabel stuff is true, but I still think I'm gonna predict that it could be Baron. Or I know trade down's possible. Yeah. Well, if the Browns say it too, I'm pretty sure I'm like 99% sure they're going Hunter. And whoever trades up is also probably going Hunter, which I think is the right move. I have Hunter graded as the best player in their draft. Carter's second though. I think Banks is going to be gone. Troll. It looks like Banks is going to be a top 10 pick according to the reports. It's the most important Dolphins draft in the last 5. Definitely the last. And maybe not. I don't know. It's one of the most. I mean, the 2020 draft was. I would say 2020 was probably supposed to be the most important. But I feel like a lot of teams are going to want to trade up just because of how cheap it is. Think of the 2013 draft when the Dolphins traded up from 12 to 3. They traded from 12 to 3 and only gave up a second round pick, which is kind of crazy. They obviously used it on the wrong player, but they could have taken Lane Johnson, which was what I think most people expected. I guess at least the guys that I don't really want at 13 that are being rumored, at least there's fits. Like, I understand the fits of them. I just don't think the value is great. I'll try to pull up. Hopefully I can get clips up pretty quick. Let me pull up some clips on stream for whoever the Dolphins pick. It's 8:02. 15. Isn't it 10? Did they change it? Pretty sure it's 10 minutes. What are they doing to me? Okay, fuck it. I'm just going to restart that stream because for some reason it just froze. I swear to God, if my NFL Network stuff freezes while the Dolphins are picking, I'm losing it. Hopefully they don't tip picks either, because I feel like last year they were kind of like tipping the picks live. They'd be like, especially on ESPN, Schefter would always be like, hey, I think it's going to be this guy. And it was always that guy. Like, I'm like, you can give some tips, but don't tell us who it's going to actually be before the pick. Yeah, I agree, Irving. Most people don't actually have sources. Most of the stuff you'll see, there is some truth to some of the stuff I think you see out there before draft. Like, some people do have sources, I think, but most of like the fans who are talking about having sources, they might know someone, but the people they know don't actually really know anything. Yeah, especially in Green Bay. I wonder how cold it is there. It's in Green Bay, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in Green Bay. Yeah. Honestly, is Goodell coming out on a fucking bike? I'll say this. I understand why the Titans are going Cam Ward. Like, yes, Cam Ward is the best QB in this class. Honestly, if I was number 1, I actually think I would still take Travis Hunter. Who are these people on bikes? Let's go, Goodell. Get off the bikes and announce that people are on the clock. Lil Wayne's out there. Oh, God. I'm waiting to hear the iconic sound. Oh, let's shout out to Irving, man, with the super chat. Ryder, have a good draft night. Let's get this draft right. This is a must make draft for Greer McDaniel. Yeah, it is. I really do believe this is like the last sort of real chance to kind of turn this around. I know there was even reports today of some question marks with the McDaniel stuff. I take all that stuff with a grain of salt because I don't necessarily believe Tony Pauline. Maybe, a little bit of it, but winning can change a lot of things. So you build the right team, and I think if you do, to me, this is why you just get good players. And if you are a little bit weak at positions, that's what free agency is for. There are still some free agents at spot. I think on the O-line, there's still some corners out there. I think you can add guys. post-draft and free agency that can be spot starters. And if Tua stays healthy, I still think it is you're going to be a pretty decent team. But shout out Irving. It's starting, guys. Come on, Goodell. There's Cam. Clay Matthews. Jordy. That James Jones, yep. And Lil Wayne. Oh, it actually did say Lil Wayne. Oh, man. Dude, what are they doing, man? What the heck are they doing? Oh, man. Okay, let's get this thing going. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care about the Packers. Yeah. Okay, I gotta get off Twitter because I know these guys are spoiling out there. Thanks for covering the draft for us Vincents, giving us dedicated Dolphins content. Hey, thanks for the comment, Garrett. Appreciate it. I love doing it. Love covering this stuff. I just love football. So yeah. Give us a guy who might go in the first round that no one is talking about. That no one's talking about. let's I'm just listening to them. Honestly, Carson Schlesinger. Yeah, stop talking politics. Yeah, that's a crazy way to start your what you're gonna say. I guess at least it was a joke about the Bears sucking. I want to find where Sanders. Yeah, Sanders is I forgot to heart that message. Let me heart that. Boom. I think Shadur's gonna go pretty late. I think he's gonna go in that, like, I guess someone could trade up for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in that, like, Steelers area. Oh yeah, Titans are on the clock. Who's your guy? Honestly, I'm in the, if Mason Graham falls, I would love Mason Graham. And then also, like, if it's not him, Jahmyr Barron, Kenneth Grant, that kind of area is what I'm looking for right there. Those guys. What's up, Irving? Am I here? You saying writer question mark scaring me. It makes me think I'm lagging out again. Because it looks like I'm not lagging, but I was lagging there for a while. I was lagging bad. Alex Sanders does end up in landing. Yeah, it apparently, at least from reports, apparently the Saints are not on Sanders at all. And like that's what everyone's saying. You want Grant? I would be totally down for Kenneth. I would be very down for Kenny Grant. I think it's one of the better picks they can make. Come on, Tennessee. You've been on the clock. This is like the one time I don't understand the clock going down is because like you were on the clock for months. Hey, good for the Titans. I hope Cam Ward works out for them, you know? My opinion on Cam Ward, if that's obviously where I think the pick is going, I think Cam Ward is going to be a good NFL quarterback. Not bad, not elite, not very good. I think good is a good place for him. Like, you know, kind of depends on what you put around him, but like he can be in that like 10, 12 fringe range. I think there's some weaknesses to his game, but like I think there's nice physical talent to work with. That he's going to be a quality player. No, what did Ramsey say on IG? Are you talking about what did he recently say something, or was it the old Instagram post? Obviously, Titans taking trade offers. I feel like they've been taking trade offers for fucking 3 months, and I'm pretty sure it was confirmed like a few days ago. Oh, they're on the phone, but they're on the phone like he's smiling, laughing, he's talking to Cam. What position is best to draft in the first round for us that we wouldn't be able to get similarly skilled players in the second round? Honestly, Robbie, I actually think for most of the positions, you can actually probably get pretty similarly talented players in the second round. I actually think it's talked about like that 15, 20 to like 60 range in this class is very similar level talent. So I actually think most positions, it's not that much different. Like there's a fall off at corner. There's a bit of a, I don't think the fall off at, there's a little bit of fall off at D tackle too, but there's a lot of depth at D tackle. I think O-line has, it depends what O-line you're talking about. Like if they take Gray Zabel at 13, I actually think the fall off to 48 is not big at all. Like that's why I wouldn't love Zabel at 13, because I think you get a similar level player on the offensive line at 48. Yeah. Yeah, you know, that's part of the draft charm, I guess, Nicholas, you know? They're going to take their time. Yeah. I don't really have a college team. Pick is in, thank God. But, you know, I'm happy for Cam. I always liked Cam Ward as a player, even when he was at Washington State. Saying you surround yourself with people who are okay with being mediocre, and you will start to be okay with it. You know, is what it is. I think it's time to move on. They compared Cam Ward to Baker Mayfield. That is pretty interesting. I don't know if I see that. I didn't spend a ton of time watching Cam Ward because, like, I obviously knew he would be gone, and like, I'm like kind of wasting time. But I don't know who my comp would be for him. Come on, hit us with it. Yeah, I don't know. I do think other QBs will go in round 1, but I think it'll be later in round 1. I don't think they're gonna go yeah. Yeah, Cam, Hunter, Abdul, I agree. I just don't know. It might be some trades that happens that make, I do think it will still be in that order, but who actually picks at 2, who knows? Yeah. And then 4 will be Will Campbell, unless a trade happens. Let me hear the bell. Let me hear the noise. Oh yeah, here it is. It's coming. Cam. Congratulations, Cam. Cam Ward to the Titans. If Giants take Abdul, will they trade back up in round 1 for their QB? There was reports about that, Robbie, that they might want, and apparently, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Giants GM, his son, remember the one that said he wanted like Jaden Daniels and stuff? His son, I think on, I don't know what it was, maybe it was Instagram, it was on one of the social media sites, saying that like he basically put out like a Jackson Dart highlight reel, so people now think they're going to trade up for Jackson Dart late in the first round, which would be kind of funny. Oh, the Jaguars on the clock, guys. The Jags traded up. Wow. 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 So they're going to take Travis. Wow, that's going to change things up, isn't it? Because who are the Browns going to take at 5 then? Yeah. I think it's possible, Garrett. I think there are certain things teams value, and I think Mason Graham maybe doesn't quite fit certain thresholds for certain teams, and I could see him falling. I think it's actually a realistic option. I would take him in a heartbeat, though. What was the trade? Wow. Wow. What is it? Okay. Wow. They got a first next year? I did not expect that. They're going to take Hunter, right? They have to take Hunter. If they're trading up, they got to take Hunter. It was the Browns got a second, a fourth this year, and then they got a first next year. And then they also gave back a fourth and a sixth. Wow. You think it's Carter? Maybe. But like, I think their GM or their coach, either their GM or their coach said like, we want guys that score touchdowns. And I feel like Travis Hunter makes more sense. And for me, if it was me, I would do Hunter. I think Hunter is like the most special player in this class. I'm surprised the Browns, I mean, they got a lot. Getting a first in this class for next year for moving back 3 spots is pretty damn good. Wow. Jacksonville gave up a 1 next year, a second, and a fourth. But then they also got back a fourth and a sixth. I believe that's what it was when they showed it up. Pick is in. Hey, I respect being aggressive. But to be fair, Travis Hunter would be like the one guy I would actually risk trading Hunter for. Let's see what they announce him as. Damn. Kind of crazy. Flashing myself. Okay. Okay, that's good. Yeah, you also like it gives you a lot of like flexibility to really be like, hey, if it doesn't quite work out one spot, like he could be really good at the other one. I wonder what they're gonna announce him as. Come on, let's announce this. We're already shaking things up. Okay, they're about to announce it. Let's see. Eric Armstead's announcing it. Interesting. Man. I don't think so, David. I don't think they'll get a haul like that. Not at 13. I feel like Travis Hunter was like the only player in this class that, like Hunter, Carter, Genty. I feel like those are the only players teams are gonna like, and Ward too. If that's another player that people would have done it for. But it feels like those are the only players people would really risk actually giving up future stuff for, like real stuff. Come on, Eric, announce it. Dun, dun, dun. What this? Here it comes. Travis Hunter. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, they announced him as wide receiver and defensive back. Oh, he's playing both ways. I don't think I've ever seen that. He's dancing. Okay, okay. Ooh. Yeah, makes sense. Sorry, they were just taking so long to announce that one. Hey, good for Travis. Travis Hunter, best player in the draft, in my opinion. They announced him both as a wide receiver and a defensive back, which I think is really interesting. I wonder if they're going to try, like, it feels like the most logical sense is like you play him as a full-time corner and then you put him in, like, rotate him in at receiver on offense. That just makes more sense from, like, how those positions work. Because I don't know if he can play full-time both ways. But on defense, like, some of the best instincts you'll see in coverage, elite ball skills, body control, which obviously also factors in on offense. The movement skills, the acrobatic ability, I think really is like the one thing, like is he can be a little more technical, like with his route running. Like he can still even get better in that area. But he's such a special athlete and just like such a good player with the ball in his hands. Like exciting player. Good for Trav. Yeah, it was surprising. It was expensive. I was surprised they got a first for next year. Dude. Yeah. His zone instincts, yeah, the plays they're showing right now, his ability as like a cloud corner in the flat is so crazy. Some of the plays he makes for smash concepts, it's so crazy, man. Big fan of the player. Don't know if I would have made the trade. I'm not a big trade up person anyways, but how do they get those jerseys ready so fast, especially when there's a trade? I think they literally just stitch on the last name. Like they have it ready to go, or maybe they literally could just wouldn't be surprised if they just have like a press on thing with it. Just like they already have the last names ready to go and then put it on whatever jersey they need. Yeah. Good for Travis Hunter. He seems like a good kid too. I hope he gets a chance to play both ways. I think that'd be super fun. And get Carter. I think Carter's gonna go right now though at 3. Pick is in though. I don't think they go Sanders. The only way they go Sanders, I think, is if the owner was like, you need to take a quarterback. I don't think they would take Sanders otherwise. But who knows? Duval. Dude. His in-air athleticism is insane, Travis Hunter, man. Look at these plays in zone. Ball skills, body control. Yeah, I'll say this. I'm glad he's not in the division. Patriots won a meaningless game at the end of the year to miss out on Travis Hunter. Honestly, I don't think Sanders goes. If he doesn't go here, I think he drops down into the teens. And honestly, maybe even into the 20s. Because I've heard the Saints don't like him at all. Or like if the Saints were to go QB, they'd go for a different one, which is how it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. If they play my receiver, Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter is a nasty receiver duo. So athletic. And I loved Thomas last year. The NFL Network so far isn't really spoiling anything. So that's nice. If I'm the Giants, I go Abdul Carter. Just best player available. I know they need QB, but it's just not. I don't think there's a QB worth it here. Oh, here it is. That was quick. Abdul Carter, yeah. Not a surprise there. That's just first 3 pretty expected. At least the second, the trade obviously was a little bit surprise, but the order is not a surprise. I think that was what we thought was going to happen. Carter, obviously, just a extremely talented player. Let me go here. Oh yeah, they took him. Jacksonville Jaguars took Hunter. I gotta start. Oh yeah, I have to start like taking these players out a little bit just so I remember who's available and who's not. Yeah, Jalen Carter's one of the best pure pass rushers. I remember watching. If you guys watched the Penn State film last year because of the Chop Robinson, Carter was playing off-ball linebacker basically because Chop was like their main edge like that, and they played the same position. And like he's clearly an edge, but like it was actually crazy. He would still make an impact as a off-ball. Like that's how athletic he is as a player. Nope, not what I wanted. Nope. How do I? Oh, yeah, I need this. Okay. Okay, cool. Now I found it. I'm trying to X out these people so I know who's been taken. Just makes it easier to keep track. But yeah, Abdul Carter, super Benny, super flexible player. I mean, pretty sure they're stacked at edge now because I think they've been talking about trading Thibodeau, and they also have Brian Burns, right? So, and they have Dexter Lawrence. That their front is disgusting. So just Jahmyr Carter walking with a limp. Well, he has had an injury this offseason, right? Will right here. Yeah, I'm guessing Will Campbell to the Patriots unless a trade happens. Hey. But I think those first 3 picks make a lot of sense. I think 5 is where I don't know what the Browns are going to do at 5, but that's something we just haven't had time to think about because they obviously just traded back. I wonder if they go maybe O-line. They could go like a Membou if Will Campbell goes at 4. I wonder who else they would like. I don't know if they're a Genty team. I don't know if taking running back makes sense for them. Like, I don't know. Membou. Guess they could go Mason Graham. I don't know. Come on. Pick is in, okay. DeAnd at 3 reminds me of Deion Jordan. Fortunately for the Giants, Abdul Carter is much better than Deion Jordan, but yeah. I feel that pain. That was the first draft I ever like really got into. I really got into the draft in 2013. And Lane Johnson should have been the pick. Can you see Campbell playing it? Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure Campbell's about to go here, so I'm not too worried about Campbell with Tua, but I do think Campbell could play guard. That last pick was announced fast. Like, they took so long to drop center one, and then they just cut to Roger Goodell on stage. He was already announcing it before they even showed him. At least on NFL Network. Hey. Pick us in. Okay, they're going to break. So I think, at least from what everyone thinks, O-line, Will Campbell, they need O-line help. The Patriots O-line was rough last season. I remember Chop Robinson was absolutely terrorizing that O-line, especially in that second game. Honestly, I don't even remember any of their names. I think they totally had to rehaul. And it seems like Campbell would be like their left tackle of the future. Even though I don't love it, I think this is where I think the Patriots are getting like a little bit of a tough. They're in a tough spot because like I do think that after those two, after Travis Hunter and Carter, there is a pretty big fall off. I think the next one is probably Genty in terms of talent, but he's a running back, and it's not the greatest value to take a running back that high. So they kind of got shafted missing out on Hunter and Carter because even though they're going to get a good player, I don't think they're going to get a potential elite player. at 4, which is not ideal for pick number 4. But I mean, I'm not complaining. Oh, come on, let's get back. Getting blocked out here. Okay, this is where 5 is where things are going to get interesting. 5 and 6. I think 4 are pretty obvious going O-line, but 5 and 6 is like, I think where it could really start to affect the flow of the draft and like could really change up things for what Miami will get. Yeah. To be fair, I do think that's why he will be seen more of a tackle, Don, because he does play the way he like his measurables do kind of scream guard, but yeah, the way he plays, he does play like a tackle. Would you take Campbell over Membou? I actually slightly prefer Membou. Are you buying the Banks and or Sable rumors? Well, I think Banks will be gone. And honestly, I think the Zabel stuff is a little bit of smoke. I think they like him, but I think personally, I just think there's going to be better players on the board. And it would be different, something different that this regime would do if they took Zabel over some other people there. Taking a guard, because Zabel is not going to be a tackle at the next level. Taking a guard at 13, especially over some of the other players that will be there, would be something different than they've ever done before. So, personally, I hope they don't do that. It's looking good for Grant if he makes past 6. Yeah, I would say past like, yeah, because I think 8, the Panthers could take him at 8. I think 11 is the next big spot because the Niners have a lot of same needs as us and they need D tackle. He gets past them. I've heard, I follow a lot of Cowboys people, like I follow a lot of like Cowboys people who do draft stuff, and I've heard from them that and they like work in the building and stuff. They apparently the Cowboys aren't very high on Graham, so. Yeah. 5, I don't know. I think like a Membou is possible. I don't know if they'd go Genty. Who's their running back room? I don't think they have a great one. Because obviously Chubb's gone. Like, come on. Okay, they're announcing in less than 20 seconds. What if Genty falls to us? I'd be very surprised. Apparently a lot of teams load Genty. Okay, they're about to announce it. Hold on. Will Campbell, yeah. Patriots have been telegraphing that for weeks. Will Campbell. Yeah. You know. They needed it. Was huge. Bro, they were rough at tackle, man, but very smart player, plays with good quickness. He even tested better than I thought he would, but like plays with nastiness. He torques people out of the club. Limited length, which I do think gets him in trouble at times, but I do think he has a good understanding of how to like mitigate that with like his hand placement, his timing. I do love how nasty he plays. I think the run blocking is definitely a plus to his game. Heavy hands, light feet. That's always a good combo. As an O-line, you got light feet and heavy hands. You like that. He's got some nice burst balance. You know, I do think pad level bend could be a little bit better for Campbell. But that's a pretty. It's a solid pick for New England. I don't love Campbell at 4 though. In most drafts, in this draft, it makes sense. Yeah. To be fair, Chop also has pretty small arms for an edge. They'll have a small arm off. I actually have no idea what Miami is going to do, man. I really have no clue. This is where things change. The Browns on the clock at 5. Because the first 4 were expected. This is where things, like, first 4, the order was expected. What are the, like, could they? I don't know how the Browns would feel about Graham. This is where I think things can get a little shocking. Membou, Graham, someone unexpected. I'm hoping so. Hey, good for Will Campbell, you know. Got some tears going on there. It's a big moment. Oof. You got 5, Genty? You're gonna fight and die. Okay, I respect it, Will. But now, hey, unfortunately, Will, you are now an enemy. You know, just how it is. I guess if he's left, he'll probably be left tackle for them. So Chop usually goes against right tackles, so they won't face off that much. Browns pick is in. Browns must have been pretty comfortable taking whoever they're taking. They must have felt pretty comfortable to be able to go off of Hunter, but to get also that draft haul. Graham or Barron? I would say Graham or Membou if I had to guess. I don't think Barron will go this early. Oh. Okay, I need to. Come on, let's announce this thing. I don't want to get spoiled in the chat. Mason Graham. Okay, so he did go top 5 still. I mean, I think it's a good pick. I mean, oh yeah, Mason Graham going to an Ohio team is funny actually. Honestly, I think that trade actually probably hurt Miami because I don't think he would have gone 5 if it was the Jaguars stayed there, and that could have called him to fall. So that is unfortunate. Missing out on that, but let me see what you guys are saying. But he was dominant disruptor on the interior. He played 3-1, plays in 5. Really good nuance with his hands. He has a bunch of different moves to win constantly. Can hold his own at the point of attack as a 2-gapper. Really enjoy Mason Graham's game. Yeah, he was super productive. Now I don't know what's gonna happen because do the Raiders go their O-line or do they go Genty? It wasn't meant to be. That's one of my top options gone. Unfortunate. Are the Raiders still on the clock? Oh, which one would be better for Miami? Probably Graham, just a better overall player, but I love Barron. I think Barron's just like a great scheme fit for what the Dolphins do. Hopefully this next pick, I'm hoping they go Kelvin Banks on the next pick. Apparently they like him a lot. I hope that's the pick. But they could also go Genty. But yeah, they could go Genty. How concerned are you with Jonathan's medical plaque? I mean, it seems pretty serious from what everyone said. Obviously, it's tough to know from the outside, but there's a reason he's fallen, so I think that definitely bumps him down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting Graham to get there anyways. It's just that's like the first domino that kind of there was at least somewhat of a potential there. Okay, pick is in for the Raiders. Come on, let's get this announced. This is huge. Yeah, man. Here he comes. See what the Vegas Raiders do. Ashton Genty. Wow. They really took Genty. Okay, well. I just guess maybe they didn't expect him to be there because it was all about Kelvin Banks. Honestly, I don't know if I wanted that because I think that makes it likelier Kelvin Banks falls to you, and I don't really want Kelvin Banks, but does make. I mean, guy's easily a top 3 player in the class. Vision, burst, balance, the way he can break tackles and string those moves together is so impressive. So yeah, let's look at him just bounce off, really just absorb is really impressive. So 7. Now the Jets are gonna probably take Membou, right? Good for Genty, good for the Raiders, Boise State. Yeah, Genty and Bowers, they have very good players. Hmm. They're freaking out. Sanders could still go to the Raiders if they trade up late first, because I think Sanders is going to go late here. Yeah. Pretty sure they need right tackle, right? And Membou can come in because they took Fashanu last year as their left tackle. Makes more sense. Mm-hmm. But yeah. But Genty is. Okay, the Jets pick is in. That's good. Okay, let's see what they got. Oh, they're coming back from break. Are they going to break? Damn it! The Raiders did not trade Mayer. Okay, so that puts us in a spot where Jets probably go Membou here. They probably go Membou or Warren, right? Like two guys I obviously like, but Membou probably isn't making it to 13 anyways. Still kind of puts you in a position now where I think because 7, I'm guessing Membou. 8 could be like a Jalen Walker type situation for the Panthers. 9, the Saints are a bit of a wild card. They could go in a lot of different directions. I could see them going O-line with Ramczyk retiring. I could see them going like a Michael Williams because he's been connected to them. 10 is the Bears. They might go tight end or they could trade back. I've seen people talk about them potentially trading back if they didn't get Genty. But this is a definite scenario where things can change. JETS sucks. They need to get back to this. Post Membou, I'm gonna, yeah. That tonsil stuff is still legendary. Crazy that it happened. I'm waiting for like a surprise pick though. I'm waiting for someone like that wasn't expected to go high going high. Bears should take Hampton. That would be pretty ideal. Don't know if they'll actually do that though. Oof. Get some what a. Yeah, I remember when that it came out, and I'm like, Tunsil's really falling for her for wearing the bog mask. So funny. Are we back? We back? Thank God. My guess for this pick is Membou. Jets, Membou. Panthers, like Jalen Walker or something like that. Sean Will Johnson. Just really wonder what's up with the Will Johnson injury stuff. Actually, it would be kind of crazy if they went like Tyler Warren or something. Roger Goodell about to announce it. Let's go. Hit us with it. Hit us with it. Yeah. That was expected. Yep. Saw that one coming, right? Armand Membou to the Jets. One of my top options, but of course that happens. I mean, because now they have their bookend tackles at left and right tackle, because last year they took Olu Fashanu. This year they take Armand Membou. I love how he plays. I think he's explosive. He finishes. I think he's got good strikes. Yeah, he plays with good patience, like they're talking about right now. Brings hips to hips. Always a, kind of, definitely not unexpected there. It just makes more sense to get like a stud tackle like that than a tight end. Okay. Just typing stuff down. Boom. Okay. Yeah, he had like one of the highest athleticism scores. You think Kenneth Grant will be there at 48? I highly doubt it. Big is in for the Panthers. I'm gonna guess Panthers go Jalen Walker. We're going breaks back-to-back picks. That's crazy. Yeah, that would be nice if they went QB. I don't think they will, though. Okay, I'm going to show this. I will be back in a second. I'm going to use the restroom. Okay, I am back. I think the NFL team's been watching my videos. Yeah. There goes. Yeah, I mean, those Membou and Graham were always outside options. Especially, I mean, Graham seemed like there might have been a chance, but that trade seemed to mess things up. And then Membou just seemed like he was always going to go 6 or 7 to the Jets or the Raiders. Like, I'm sure the Raiders might have taken Membou if Genty didn't follow them. Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely prefer the throwbacks. We're getting close though, guys. We're getting close. And I will be grinding the film tonight. If McDaniel doesn't survive, I'd say would Warren be a bad pick? Would that type of tight end fit in most systems or be as valuable? He fits in most systems, I would say. Like, yeah, there's definitely some where I could see him not being as valuable though. That is kind of the problem though with a lot of these picks. So like, especially O-line. Like, if the Dolphins change systems, like say they do draft Gray Zabel, and they change like offensive systems, I actually think the O-line would be in a lot of trouble because like Zabel, Brewer, Jackson, Paul were all very specific scheme fits. Panthers could take Ted as well. I think here I'm thinking Jalen Walker, but it could also be like a Ted McMillan, maybe a D lineman. I'm thinking Jalen Walker because they've been connected to Jalen Walker for a while, and apparently people are really like Jalen Walker's character, and I think yeah. Panthers do need defense. I like they're talking about. Mm-hmm. No trades though. No trades since the second overall pick, which is interesting. Oh, I'm dropping frames. Great. Hopefully it's not. Doesn't look like it's crazy though. Oh, things freezing for a second there. Hopefully it doesn't get. Come on. Oh no! Don't come back. Not when we're getting close to the Miami pick. The problems. Oh no! 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 Okay, Panthers about to select. Let's see what's happened. Panthers select. They took McMillan. Okay. Okay, so yeah, they really wanted McMillan. Interesting. Ted McMillan. Yep, that was probably the second option, I think, after Jalen Walker in my eyes, and they went in that direction. I remember because people thinking McMillan might fall, but I do think this is not a bad spot for him. Yeah, long, fluid, great in contested situation, great catch radius. Just very strong at the catch point. Very good weapon, I think, for Bryce Young. Great tracker, good pace, I think, that he runs some routes with. I think he needs a better field versus zone. It could be a better transitioner at times, but I think he's going to be a good receiver at the NFL level. That's fine, though. I'm totally fine with McMillan going. Walker might go here then, because I think the Saints could be interested in Jalen Walker. Yeah, Ted definitely helps us. Not someone I was looking for, and I think Ted going before us. To be fair, I think if Ted was there at like 12, the Cowboys would take him. Did the Saints pick? Guessing their pick is in because they didn't announce anything else. (6'4", 219, ran a 4.53. Let's see. There's pick 9, 10, 11, 12. So Only 4 more names are going to come off the board. God, I have a feeling we're going to... So 9... I think the Bears could take, like, Banks. I think they've been connected to him. And then 11, Niners is... Oh, Niners could go in a lot of spots. Honestly, I hope the Saints go like Michael Williams. That'd be great. Let's see what Tetaroa. Yeah. I don't know if the Saints go QB. Maybe they do, though. Maybe. Obviously, super productive at Arizona. I actually remember even like I think I saw a little bit of him playing in high school when he played in Southern California. Oh, yeah, he just mentioned it. Pig is in. And Rappaport's talking about Derek Carr's future being at a question mark. Maybe they just go QB then. That would be helpful. Yeah. Yeah. He just said it would be a surprise if they took Shador. He's saying it would be the longest con of all time, but who knows? Come on, let's announce this thing. Chicago, San Francisco, Dallas, Miami. We're getting closer. Sorry, I have the chat blocked right now because I don't want to be spoiled. I'll unblock it right after the pick. If you guys are saying stuff. So we got nothing too crazy happening as of yet. I feel like everything's been pretty normal, other than trading up, which we heard about a little bit before the draft started anyways. Okay, Saints about to be announced. What are they going to take, like Jalen Walker or QB or say Michael Williams for me? Kelvin Banks, okay. Honestly, fine with me. I did not want Kelvin Banks. Seems like teams want to line, but that also means like they might take Gray Zabel, but I'm more than fine with Kelvin Banks being off the board. I just didn't love the idea of him at 13. Okay. Banks off the board. Yeah. Hey guys, I know you're talking about Warren. I would love Warren. I still just don't think that Miami will do it. But yeah, no, I'm mad about that. Oof. It's not like I just didn't love the value of Banks at 13. I mean, he goes at 9. I think there's just a couple problems I have with this game. I actually do think he is more of a guard. I do think he would have fit what Miami does. But yeah. Will Chicago pick here, or will they trade? Pick is in for the Bears. What is happening? What? They announcing the schedule right now? What's going on? Oof. With all the O-linemen going, I really hope the Dolphins don't panic and reach for O-line. Maybe the Niners will take Gray Zabel and I don't have to worry about it. You were announcing the date of the schedule release? What's going on? just give me the picks, please. We're getting close. Boom. Oh. Bears look excited. Oh yeah, the Bears are getting booed. Oh yeah, they're in Green Bay. Are the Bears going to take tight end here? Do they take Loveland or Warren? Wouldn't be surprised if they took Tyler. Come on, Roger. Rest in peace, Steve McMichael. Walter Payton. Okay, it looks like we're waiting on this one right now. We're still waiting for the actual selection. Just makes me say here. Look like an absolute fool. Here it is. Colston Loveland. Wait, guys. I bet Colston Loveland first tight end taken at plus 500. Let's go. I had a feeling. I heard teams have them rated, like a lot of teams are split on them, and I was like, if it's like 50-50 with teams have them who has as first tight end, I'll take the plus 500 all day. Yeah, I love that. I mean, Loveland's a good player. I just never saw him as a fit for Miami. I think he's more of a route runner. I think he's the better athlete route runner of the two. Definitely has a very good like feel for like pace, tempo of routes. I think he's like a below average to average blocker right now. Not too much yak either, which is kind of like the negatives to his game, but like he makes some plays down the field, can stretch the field. Was definitely misutilized at Michigan. I actually felt bad for him. When you watch his film, you feel bad for him because this guy's getting open and they cannot utilize him at all. But honestly, definitely not mad about that. It's another player I don't think the Dolphins would have been interested in, so. Yeah. The Niners, this is where things get interesting though, because they could go in a lot of different directions, and they have a lot of similar needs to Miami, and obviously they run a very similar scheme to Miami. I would love if they... man, I actually don't know. I hope they take some of the people. Like, I hope they take like Gray Zabel. That'd be funny. Or take the people I don't want. Gray Zabel, Michael Williams, Walter Nolan. Who else is available right now? Okay. He's gone. He's still there. I'm trying to mark off all the people that are gone so I know. Gone. Armand Membou, obviously gone. Jalen Walker. Oh yeah, they could go Jalen Walker. Jalen Walker is on the board. Dude, Jalen Walker is a low-key pick at 13 if he falls, because I think that was unexpected, and I would not be surprised if they like him a lot. Yeah, I forgot Walker's still on the board. Walker for sure could go here. Loveland just went, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So that's all the players that have gone so far. Travis Hunter. Obviously, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, Mason Graham, Genty, Armand Membou, Tet McMillan at 8, then Kelvin Banks, then Colston Loveland. Okay. Got it all. Oh. I'm italicizing stuff. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely a pick that could be. The Niners are a team that I'm worried about. Smell Munden. Yeah. I'm not saying I'd advocate for Jalen Walker. I wouldn't hate the pick. It wouldn't be my favorite pick, but I would understand the value. I think it's a better. It would be a pick I would make over like a reach for, some guy like Gray Zabel or something though. But they're very different players. Walker's just a weird one because he's not a true off-ball. He's like an edge off-ball mix. He'd be a very fun player. But we'll see. I think Walker will probably go. You could use Walker as trade bait, though. Walker's one of the players I could see a team wanting to trade up for. Barron is an option here as well. I could see that. I do. The Niners are the toughest to predict because I think it's like similar to Miami. They have a lot of the same needs and they can go in so many different directions. They could go D line. I can see them going edge. I can see them going corner, like we talked about. Even a reach for an alignment, I don't think is off the table. Yeah. Well, I did see Loveland to the Bears recently sometime, so I knew that was a possibility that they could go tight end. And it didn't surprise me they prefer Loveland because Loveland is they have Cole Kmet, and Cole Kmet is more of a Tyler Warren type, so Loveland is more of a fit, I guess, for what they do. So it didn't necessarily surprise me. Even though I prefer Warren. I just knew teams had them pretty different because they're very different players. I hope the Dolphins trade back at this point. I would take Tyler Warren at 13. I just want it to be known. I don't think Miami will, but I would take it. To be fair, if the Dolphins don't take Tyler Warren at 13, or if someone... either someone will trade up to take Tyler Warren at 13, or he's going to go 14 to the Colts, because I know the Colts want Tyler Warren. They want a tight end bad, and the way they were talking in their scouting videos, they were definitely talking about Tyler Warren. Like, they don't put the name in there, but you could just tell from how they're describing him that it's Tyler Warren, and he feels like a Colt. Come on, Niners. I'm sliding. What are we at the stage for now? United States forces Japan. Oh, is he? Oh, he's announcing the pick. Oh, they're not actually announcing it. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say they usually do that kind of pick on day, like on sometimes day 2, but always on day 3 they do that stuff. USA. Here it is. Michael Williams, let's go. Okay, thank God. I just was a little worried that Michael could go to us. That's great. Perfect. Just in case, I didn't think the Dolphins would actually take him, but like just in case, get those guys off the board that I don't want. That's good. Michael off the board. I mean, he's definitely wasn't a need for Miami at all. So, I mean, right now you're in a decent spot to either, like, honestly, like the value picks would be Tyler Warren and Jalen Walker, just based on value. Those aren't the biggest needs, though. Then there's some needs, but then there's good value players. Like I think Jahmyr Barron, Kenneth Grant are still in play. Let me look at my list. Yep, still Will Johnson, but obviously there's the injury thing. Hopefully not Gray Zabel. Zabel's like the one that worries me. That seems like people, were mentioning. I like Zabel as a player, but 13 is just nope. He would be a plug and play left guard, and like obviously it's not a horrible thing, but I don't know. My guess would be Barron. We'll see what Cowboys do. Honestly, I think with how the board is, though, a trade back is possible. Like, if a team wants to come up for maybe a QB, QB, Warren, Walker, I think our teams could potentially want to trade up for those guys, and you might actually be able to get something. Who are the Cowboys going to take? I've seen the Cowboys interested in receiver. They could go like Golden or Ibuka here. They could also go guard. I've seen them be connected to like Booker, Tyler Booker, and Gray Zabel as well. Their pick is in. They could also go with, they could take best player available and go like a Jalen Walker, Tyler Warren type situation as well. Even though I don't think that's like a super need for them, but. See what the Cowboys got. Tyler Booker, yeah. Honestly, that is good for Miami. They were not going to take Tyler Booker. It does make me scared that they might panic and take Gray Zabel, but I mean, Warren is there, and you know how I feel about Tyler Warren. I would take it, but I just don't know if Miami's going to do it. I really don't. Miami's on the clock. Do you trade back? Depends what you get offered. That's what I'm saying. There's only been one trade since the beginning. Like, teams are not getting offered a lot, but I think Warren and Walker are best player available here. I still think Miami would go either like Barron, Grant, and then the surprise pick they've been talked about with Zabel. If they go Zabel, I will be pretty disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I'm going to block you guys just so I do not get spoiled because I think you guys are like a few seconds ahead of me. Because it looks like the chat starts moving. I can see like an edge of the chat. I just want to, just in case. So we'll see what happens here. Oof, please, Dolphins, please. I think Jalen Walker's a sleeper pick here, though, because the value is great, and I would not be surprised if they love him, even though it's not the biggest need. But I'm never mad about if that's their BPA. I'm not mad about that. It wouldn't be my option. I still would lean Warren, Barron, and probably Grant over him. I think I have that on my stack. Then I would probably go Walker, definitely before Zabel. And like, I think Zabel's the other one. I guess the other people are like a Walter Nolan for D lineman. But I don't. Hopefully they don't do that either. Tyler Booker. Interesting. I mean, they got some bullies up front. Tyler Booker and Tyler Smith. And they drafted Tyler Guyton. I just realized they have 3 Tylers on their line, right? Yeah. But Tyler Booker and Tyler Smith is actually a nasty guard duo for them. But yeah. I wonder if it says the Dolphins pick is in yet. They're not saying anything, but Miami is still there on the next section. But the Dolphins never traded back, so they're probably not trading back. Hey, good for you, Tyler Booker. You seem excited. I'm happy for you, man. Yeah, look at them. Their last 3 first-round picks are all named Tyler, and they're all on the offensive line. That's actually pretty fun. Or no, 3 of their last 4 first-round picks. Come on. Obviously a bully up front, man. Wasn't a fit for Miami, so not mad about it. Boom, boom. Come on. Oh, he just said 4.5 minutes to go on the clock for Miami Dolphins. So he didn't say pick was in. Interesting. They're taking calls. Just don't reach. Yeah, they're on the clock. They're taking their time because a lot of their times by this point the pick would have been in. They just went to commercial, so they're thinking about this. Do not reach. If you want to reach for an O lineman so bad, like a Gray Zabel, trade back, even if it's for something dumb. It's better than nothing. You'll get a same value player, even if Zabel ends up going anyways at 20. That's my main problem with if it was Zabel is I think you're getting just as good of a player at 25, 30. But that's not the case, I think, for players like Warren and Barron and even Jalen Walker, Kenneth Grant. Come on. We're at commercial. I'm not reading the chat because I'm not letting y'all spoil me. I'm watching y'all. Actually, that's not true. I'm not watching you at all. You've been completely removed from my line of sight. Yeah, that's the options though, right? I'm not missing anyone. No one that's on the board that I didn't remember. Yeah. I guess like a Malachi Starks is a possibility. I still think the other guys are more possible. Get back from commercial, please. Okay. What's up? I'm gonna have to scroll back up on those comments just to see what you guys were saying leading up to the pick, but I just in case. I mean, I probably could have been looking at the chat this whole time and blocked it now, but now it's too late for that. Come on. What's up, Danny DeVito? Commercial. I feel like this happens every time they go to commercial right before the Dolphins picks. It's a yearly tradition. This draft has played out pretty well, though. For only one QB going before pick 13, I feel like this has been a pretty good draft, board for Miami. Maybe not. I mean, maybe could have gone a little bit better if someone like a Membou or a Graham fall to you, but can't be too greedy. Pick is in. Pick is in. Pick is in. What's it gonna be? Yeah. Warren, Barron, Walker, Grant. Since we didn't trade back, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm about to read Gray Zabel, aren't I? I always expect the worst. And Gray Zabel's not even bad. I don't like talking bad about him because I actually think he's a good player. It's just not a good pick at 13. Ooh. Here it is. I'm not ready. I'm nervous. Oh, come on. Give it to me, Goodell. Kenneth Grant. Okay. I'm not mad about it. I love Kenneth Grant. That does not surprise me that they went Grant. That was one of my top options. I think, we've talked about Kenneth Grant a lot. I even said going to the draft, I thought the top three guys that were most likely to be picked were either Barron, Will Johnson, and Grant. And then when Will Johns got tagged with the injury, Grant was someone that I, was like, okay, it's either Grant or Barron. And Grant is a monster, man. An absolute monster up front. He is super athletic for his size. Let me pull up the notes real quick. He was one of the guys I have labeled here. I have people labeled in like highlights and stuff. He's one of the guys I had highlighted for the Dolphins. Has some great traits. He moves so well for his size, like absolutely so well for his size. Like he blends super well with Sealer. Impactful versus the run. He can hold his own at the point of attack as a two-guy, but could also win with suddenness. He can collapse the pocket. I still think he can develop as a pass rusher, but like he still is able to collapse those pockets with that disruptiveness. Yeah, I do think there's probably some places I could have gone differently, but I do like Kenneth Grant a lot. Definitely not someone I was mad about. And you need a D-tackle room. Like your D-tackle room was empty. So that's definitely not a pick. Like it could have been worse, man. It could have been Gray Zabel. Kenneth Grant, if you look at if we go back to my list, he was right here. Let me pull it up. But yeah, this was my list, my stack. Membou. So I would have taken Tyler Warren over him because Warren was still on the board. And I would have taken Jahmyr Barron. But Grant was one of my top options for Miami. So I'm not mad about that. I'm guessing Warren's about to go here to the Colts, actually. Yeah. You filled a desperate need, and to me, the value is good. I know some people thought he was going to go like mid to late first round. I thought Grant was rated around this area. I thought he was like graded in that 14, 15 range. So I'm not mad about him. Yeah. Tyler Warren's definitely about to go to the Colts. This is like the most locked in pick I feel like I'm ever going to see is him. But let me go. I will definitely have a breakdown on Kenneth Grant tonight. Or not, I'll probably have it, I'll record it tonight. If you're a member, you'll see it tonight. And then tomorrow, it'll go live at some point for everyone to see. Yep, Tyler Warren. That was a given. Like, Tyler Warren felt like he was always going to go to the Colts. I love that for them. He's obviously a great player. Oh, now my stuff freezes. Honestly, thank God it froze now after the Dolphins picked. But what do you guys think? I see some of you are obviously excited, some of you not so excited. This is definitely a good pick in my mind. Not mad about it. Your starting front is very good now because you need some more depth on the D-tackle room, but with Grant, obviously Michigan guy, Grant, Sealer, you have Chop, Phillips, Chubb. You can really win up front on the defensive side of the ball. So I think day 2, corner, O-line, definitely can attack those positions. Yeah. What's up? Yeah. Jalen Connors, day 3. I like that. Yeah, you like the pick? Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I don't think Barron and Walker were reaches, but I definitely think Grant's good value. I'm actually very excited. I didn't make a video on Grant before because I actually kind of wanted to. I didn't make videos on guys I thought had a very good chance of being Dolphins in the first because I wanted to wait until we drafted them. So I'm very excited to make that video tomorrow. So definitely check that out. Definitely, yeah. On the film breakdowns, make sure to leave a like and comment on those videos because that helps push it out so more people can see it. But let me. Did I say all my notes on Grant? Like the weight, dude. His movement skills are so insane at his size, man. Absolutely ridiculous. The way he's able to like forklift stuff. You filled a huge need. I think the value is solid. Not mad about it. Not mad about that. Honestly, it's more I'm just super relieved because with all this stuff beforehand, I thought there was going to be some nonsense. Yeah, another corner hasn't been gone yet. Still no Barron. Dude, my stuff keeps freezing. This sucks. Yep. Ooh. Actually, you know what? Here, let me go. I'll definitely have to look at Twitter later. Check out other people's reactions and stuff. But Kenneth Grant going to Miami is not surprising at all. He was obviously a guy I really expected. But he is a freak of nature. And like, to me, he has a high floor because I know some people think he's high ceiling, but I think he's high ceiling, high floor because he can still put moves together. But the fact that he can still do stuff like this, hopefully you guys can see this. Look at his ability to collapse the pocket, man. Like, to do that type of power, that speed, athleticism, to be able to cross face, spin out of it. He can also work twists and stunts, which I think is huge. Like, look at this. Being able to slant like that in the Dolphins system, like, they bring four a lot, and they do a lot of slants. And the fact that he's able to exchange gaps at his size and do those types of special movement skill stuff, it's absolutely freak of nature type from Kenneth Grant. So I'll definitely break down a lot of those clips and more in depth tomorrow. Yeah, I'm imagining day 2 we'll see corner, O-line, some type of that combination. I think corner, O-line at second round, and then the third round, since it's 98, I actually could see it being a variety of things. Yeah. Yeah, and hold on, I gotta. Oh, Grant age, because I know people freak out. Yeah, Kenneth Grant is 21, so still very young. What if I had to say how we picked Sable? Well, definitely happy. Ooh. I like the pick. Like the player. I might end. I'm probably not going to stream the whole first round. I actually probably will end pretty soon so I can get all my clips needed and record the video for Kenneth Grant, you know. But yeah. He's a one tech nose tackle type of guy. He can play some 2-eye. Can align at the 3, but like in most situations, you're going to want him as a 1. But finding a guy that moves that well with his build is not normal. Yeah. Grant, I'm pretty sure I'm going on there on day 3, like towards the end of day 3. I'm pretty sure I'm going on there as a guest. Ooh. I'm sure this honestly feels like a team thing. Like, I feel like obviously Weaver liked him, but I also am not. This also feels like a Greer pick to me. And then also, you know, Michigan, Russ. Yeah. What Michigan game from 2025 would you say? I would say the USC game's good. I think the Illinois game is pretty good as well. And then you can go back and watch the Washington 2023 tape, like the championship tape, like the playoffs. That's pretty good tape. That's just at the top of my head. There's probably some other ones too. I will be honestly. Let me pull up the Kenneth Grant film so I have it all pulled up and ready to go because I'm going to be watching all that tonight. Ooh. A good complimentary D-line. If they okay, so I imagine they will double up on D-line at some point. I think you're looking for more of a guy that's more of a 3 to 5 tech and even can play some edge. So maybe a little bit of a smaller pass rushing type defensive lineman. And there's a few of those. You could go in like the Pegues type area. Also Aeneas Peebles. I'm trying to think. That's probably because I don't know if they're going to go there day 2. I mean, they always could double up, but Grant and Williams both are more of like one text, two eyes, you know? So they do play more of the same position, and they're both better at run stuffing than pass rushing stuff. Whew. See what the Falcons do here. Damn. Definitely want to see how the rest of the draft plays out, because that's also gonna tell how we do it. I think the only reason is like the only thing like maybe I dislike about the pick is I do think, in at least in my mind, it would have made more sense to go corner first. But also, I mean, you're just going with the best player available. Yeah. Hey, appreciate it, Troll. Thanks for the super chat. Have a good night too. I probably won't go be live too much longer, but I will be live. I'm gonna, since day 2, the Dolphins like last pick 98 is at the end. I'm gonna be live all day tomorrow during the draft for round 2, and then round 3 I'm probably gonna go live during rounds 4 and 5. Probably take a break and then go live after the draft to fully recap everything, because the Dolphins won't pick for a while. But whew. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for the super chat. It's really appreciated. Oh, man. Because that's the thing, J Rose. The reason I think it's still a high ceiling pick, even though he needs to develop a pass rush plan, the base way to win at the NFL level, the way most players win at a base level, is with speed to power bull rush. And that is how Grant wins. So I still think he can create disruption. I don't think he'll ever be a high sack guy, but I do think he will still create disruption as a pass rusher, which I think still gives him a high floor. Jalen Walker, good pick for the Falcons. I mean, that's good value. 15. Staying in state. Whew. Falcons. Jalen Walker. Atlanta. Falcons. I wonder what corners will be available there. There still hasn't gone yet. No one's gone yet. No Barron, no Ravel, no Will Johnson. Whew. Let's go, man. It's always nice to be excited. So we'll see how the rest of the draft plays out. Obviously, this is just one pick. You have to nail this. I think this is a nail of a pick. I think you're getting at least a pretty good player here. You're getting a pretty good player. You know, maybe there's probably better picks you could have made, but you can almost say that at almost any spot at any point in the draft. But I think you're getting still a pretty good player. So I'm happy for it. Ooh. Who are the Cardinals going to take? They could go corner here, right? I think they need potential corner help. Dude, if Barron falls far enough, trade up. Imagine they got Grant and Barron. That's someone I would trade up for. There's not a lot of players I would trade up for, but if like Barron, Ravel, Will Johnson, even, I don't know about his injury, but if they fell far enough, I'd be willing to trade up a bit. Not crazy trade up, but ooh. Dude, I'm about to make a long ass video on Grant. I'm gonna get a lot of clips, I think. You think Will Johnson? I don't know. I just have a trouble thinking of Will Johnson just because of how I think people are nervous about the injury stuff. Yeah, still wide receivers on the board. None of the receivers have gone really, right? Other than Tet. Part 1 of 5 bids. I'm not going to do that, but. You think Grant has Dexter Lawrence potential? You know, I think that's what you're hoping for. Dexter Lawrence, to be fair, I haven't watched much of Dexter Lawrence in the pros. I know he's been very good. So it is tough for me to say that for sure, but I do think Kenneth Grant has, like, very high potential. Like, for what he is as a player, his size, athleticism, I think he's going to be one of the best in the NFL at that specific, type. Please include, if I find a bad clip that sort of encapsulates the weaknesses, I will definitely show them. It is kind of tough to. I think it will be tough with Grant because, like, his bad clips are just sort of him maybe not rushing with a plan and just getting, stonewalled, but that doesn't happen a lot either, like him getting stonewalled. And a lot of his, like, clips where he doesn't do anything are more so like a scheme thing where, like, he's stunting or he wasn't aligned in the best spot. That's another reason some guys that play 1 and 2, people that play like a 2-eye, you're not in the best position to pass rush. So that is another reason they're not always the most productive as pass rushers. More the 3 techs, the guys on the outside shade of tackles, they are in better positions and stuff. Yeah, it will be tough to run on Miami. Miami has, if there's one strength of the Dolphins defense now, it is that the ability, like, that front 7 has some very good players, especially at edge. Now at D tackles, you at least have starters. I still think you will be fine at D tackle and you'll get some good players. Oh. Boom. Let's go. Thank God, man. Love it when it's a pick that you at least like, Yeah, expect the film breakdown it'll go public at probably noon tomorrow, noon Eastern, so. Walter Nolan, interesting. Definitely a high, maybe a risky pick because of there's potential, character concerns, but has some of the best film in the class, just pure dominance too, so. But who knows how true some of that stuff is at times. Later, Brian. Sucks gotta work during day 2. Yeah, definitely will go to sleep happy. Hopefully day 2 can continue. If you could just continuously pick quality players, that's the best for the future of the team. And I think that's what Kenneth Grant is, so. And no one has better inside info on Michigan than probably Stephen Ross. That would be my guess. Sorrel Patel. Probably. But you never know with how the board falls, so. Whew. First thing I see on Dolphins Twitter, I hate this pick. Of course. Oh, it's so funny. I do not hate this pick. I am a fan. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Campbell was straightened out, Nolan. Oh yeah, Calais. I forgot Calais is with the Cardinals. That is good for him. I mean, well, no, I'm not. Definitely. That is a good point. Has to be a troll or opposing teams. No, it was a Dolphins fan, but usually it's people that I don't think necessarily watch a lot of draft film. I think they just go based. I think people go into the draft that don't really watch and think, oh, we need to take O line. If we don't take O line, then we failed. And it's like, no, it's a lot. There's a lot more that goes into it. Trey Amos would be really nice at 48. Hopefully he doesn't go tonight. He's someone who could potentially go. Yeah, Bengals could go Baron. Bengals could go corner. I don't know. Oh, but let's go. Probably gonna go maybe stay live for a few more picks. Then I need to get off so I can actually get this film going and at least record the video tonight. Oh. Why don't you think they trade back and gamble that he will be there? I can say the same for Chop last year. It seems like they don't just draft their target, therefore not get the best value. I think Pedro is very. I'm guessing they have pretty good info and probably have a good feeling that those guys wouldn't be there, at least just based on their info. So they don't want to risk it. Also, I think this draft specifically, not the last draft, but this draft specifically, like the value to trade back, people are not offering much. So the only way I think they would risk it is if they got good value with their draft picks, then they might feel more comfortable risking it. It's just that type of situation, risk versus reward, and they don't feel like the reward was worth the risk. Da, da, da. Yeah, that's a good shout, Don. Those would be great names. Wouldn't hear any complaints from me with those guys. McDaniel and Greer alive? Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out later. I'm trying to avoid mostly social media, but oh yeah, I wonder if we're gonna see quarterback soon. Oh yeah, they're with the media. I'm actually curious to see what they end up saying. Actually, I need to watch some Kenneth Grant interviews. I always like seeing interviews of the players they take just to hear them, hear their thought process, hear, like football ball knowledge, especially when they get asked like football questions. That's always a plus. I always like to hear that stuff. Plus, I'm pretty sure I've never heard anything negative about Kenneth Grant. Mm-hmm. Pick is in for the Bengals. Show it to me. Bengals go. Shamar Stewart. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot he was still available. Yeah, that's not surprising. I mean, someone was going to take a chance on him. I think that's fine. I think it's better than him going top 10 like some people were projecting. I feel like I'm pretty in between on Stewart. I think some people hate him and some people like love him. I think Stewart's going to be fine. But I don't know. Yep. Exactly what Daniel Jeremiah is saying. Facing Hendrickson, yeah, true. He's getting hyped. Okay. Just came in. What's your opinion on the draft pick? I'm a fan of Kenneth Grant. I think it was a pick that I have kind of been predicting either Kenneth Grant or Jahmyr Barron / Will Johnson before the injury stuff for a while. I think he's a great scheme fit. I think he's a player that has a fairly high floor for also being a high upside guy, which is always nice. Instantly going to come in and make an impact as a run defender. Like, he's just tough to move. He's huge, and not only can he there's guys that can. There's different ways to win at that one tech nose tackle type of position. There's guys that hold their own at the point of attack that are just so big, strong, powerful, and that's what Grant can do. But he also is so athletic. He can explode upfield. He can one gap. He can win with quickness and suddenness, which I think really raises his value in my eyes. And then as a pass rusher, he needs to develop his pass rush moves. But the base way to win at the NFL position as any pass rusher is speed to power. That is going to be your base way to win. And then when you have other moves to use, like Chop Robinson is a perfect example. He wins with speed to power often, and then he mixes in slightly other moves to throw things up. So Kenneth Grant needs the little stuff to figure out how to become like a top tier pass rusher. But like his speed to power and ability to collapse the pocket is already good enough to where like I think he can at least make an impact as a pass rusher in that area. I don't think he's ever going to be like a high sack guy. When you're as a one tech, that's just not something that happens very often. But I do think he can be a guy that is very disruptive in the interior. Seattle's pick is in. No real surprises thus far. Yeah, nothing crazy. I don't think. I mean, maybe some guys fell a little bit farther than usual, but nothing. No one's like, just want to see him stop runs. Oh, he'll definitely be a impactful run stopper. Oof. Sealer, yeah. And he's a good compliment to Zach Sealer. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh yeah, haven't the Seahawks been projected to take like Gray Zabel for weeks? Like before today, before the Dolphins were getting like the Gray Zabel hype. I know they were like the team projected Gray Zabel a lot. Forget about that. Yeah, there's Zabel. It's funny. Dude, stop going back down to 0, please. If you guys can hear me, I'm probably gonna end it because I'm starting to lag out anyways, and I was already ready to end it. So thank you guys for watching. Very excited to continue this tomorrow. Good pick, definitely a fan of it. Could have been way worse. But yeah, thank you guys. See you guys around.